Right here I have two great items from AOHi. The first one is a USB-C cable, but it's not a classic USB-C cable. This is a really good one. You probably know a situation that you connect a device using USB-C cable, this device is not working, or it is not working as expected. You change the cable to other one, and you check which cable works the best, and you use that cable. And this is the solution. This cable will for sure work with any device that you have. It can transfer power up to 240 watts. It can transfer data up to 120 gigabits per second in one direction, or 80 gigabits per second in two directions. It has power delivery, it has DisplayPort 2.1, it has Thunderbolt 5, so you can use it for any device, no matter if you want to power the device or you need a high data transfer. This cable is perfect for all applications. You can also connect it to screens. You can output up to 8K. It can output up to 540 Hz. So for any screen it also will work great. This cable is a universal future-proof cable that will work really well in any situation. And second item that I have is a 140 watts USB-C charger. And let's unbox those items. Let's start with the USB-C cable. Here we have a great etui for our cable and some additional information we have on this paper. And here is opening of this etui, so we can easily take out the cable from storage and we can open the cable. And this is the cable. It is 1 meter long. It is really soft and easy to use, as you can see. Solid, good cable. And let's test this cable in real life situations. But first let's start from fast charging. And for fast charging, let's unbox this charger. The charger is well protected. Here we have paper with information about this charger, and that's all in this box. And here is the charger, quite small for 140 watts. Here we have two USB-C outputs and one USB-A output, and big text that it is 140 watts from AOHi. And I've also prepared more detailed information about what power we can get from which port. If you use only one USB-C port at a time, we can get up to 140 watts from the single USB-C port, and it doesn't matter which one we will use of the USB-C ports. Each one can output 140 watts if you use only one at a time, and the USB-A can output 22.5 watts. If we use two USB-C ports at the same time, we can output 65 watts from each one. If you use one USB-C port and one USB-A port, we can get from the USB up to 100 watts and from the USB-A 22.5 watts, and it also doesn't matter which USB-C port you will use. And if you will use all the ports at the same time, both USB-C ports can output in total up to 105 watts, and the USB-A will output 22.5 watts. So USB-A always outputs up to 22.5 watts. USB-C outputs 140, 105 or 65 watts, depends on the configuration that you will use. And those USB-C ports support PD, so power delivery, up to 28 volts 5 amps, but also it supports PPS, so programmable power supply. And you can select voltage in the range between 3.3 volts and up to 21 volts. And this protocol is used sometimes by smartphones for more efficient charging, because you can select more precise what voltage do you want to output from the charger. I will test it and I will show you the results. And let's start by testing the maximum 140 watts output. So let's connect one end to this charger, other end to this tester. Let's set the trigger to 28 volts. We are getting 28 volts at the output, as you can see. And let's try to get 5 amps. And here we are taking 28 volts, 5 amps from this USB-C charger. So both the charger and the cable supports charging for up to 140 watts. and the cable supports charging up to 240 watts, but I don't have any receiver and charger that could output and input 240 watts, so I can only test 140 watts. This one was practical test, but also let's see theoretical test what protocols are available and what is the maximal output power that is available from this charger. And let's do the charging protocols test. And it showed that it supports up to 140 watts, so as expected. And let's also test this PPO, programmable power output, if we can select precisely what we want to output. Here I have a power delivery trigger. On the bottom you can see option between 3.3 up to 21 volts that I can select. And let's test this. Let's go to the bottom. .3 volts I want to trigger, and you can see right here the charger is outputting 3.3 volts. And let's go to the 21 volts upper limit. We get 21 volts on the output, and let's go in between. Like for example, I want 16.5 watts output. And I can get 16.5 volts output. So this PPO is working in this charger and the cable as expected. And also I can read this e-marker information from the cable. It shows that it is 1 meter long. It can support up to 50 volts and 5 amps. So the charger is working really well as expected, but I have a few more tests for the cable. Let's do simple everyday test. I want to connect my fast M2 SSD drive to my PC, and let's see if it will work and if I will get full speed of this drive. Here you can see USB 3.2, so the maximum speed that this drive supports. And so let's do a quick speed test. And I get maximum speed that this drive can support, so the cable is not a problem. Cable can support much higher speeds, but I get the maximum speed that this drive supports. So this cable works great for situations like this. But I want to try even higher transfer speeds, and for that I will connect my two computers that both has Thunderbolt 4 ports. This cable can support Thunderbolt 5, but I only have computers with Thunderbolt 4, and I probably even won't get the maximum Thunderbolt 4 transfer speed between those computers because of the hardware limitations. But let's see what speed I will get connecting those two computers together. One end is connected to the Thunderbolt port on my laptop, and the second port I will connect to this Mac Mini. And I received about 10 gigabits per second from the maximum 120 in one direction and 80 in both directions. But it is expected because of the hardware limitations, but it's not a bad result. And I want to do one more test. I want to power this screen using this USB-C cable. This cable can support up to 8K, and it also can support up to 540 Hz. This is only a full HD screen and 60 Hz, so I won't test the maximum potential of this cable, but let's see if it will work at all. And it is working. I get connection using this cable. So this USB-C cable is the best cable that I have. It can support everything that I own. I cannot find any limitations for my usage. And also this charger is also the best one that I have. I don't have another charger that can output up to 140 watts. So really powerful, but also small charger. It is really portable. And also a nice feature is that we get this etui for this cable for easy transport, easy storage, because we can use this cable everywhere. So it is a good cable for travel, because you don't have to worry that your cable won't work with something, because this cable will work with everything. So you can just easily fold it. Here you can zip it, put this easily into this etui, and it is ready to put it into a backpack. It is safe, small, portable, really powerful, high transfer speed, all protocols are available. So a perfect USB-C cable that is useful for everyone. And with a code DMONO15 off, you can get 15% off for this USB-C cable. And this charger, I can also recommend, a really good small charger. So those two items are really good and useful for everyday usage items. I will for sure use them in the future, and I can really recommend them. Check the links in the descriptions and my discount code if you want to buy it. And that's all for today. Like, subscribe, and be nice.